But Amazon gave the homeowners a gift card in exchange for their delivery driver pooping in their driveway.
So they win in the end.
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
Oh, now we're not in a desert anymore.
No, we're in the mountains. Going to this other tomb of King Wraithwall. This is the next sort of dungeon in this game, and it works much like the other one, where basically you need to run around and figure out how to get these transportation mechanisms to work, so you can eventually get to the bottom where the boss is and where the sword you're here for is. They do a lot. They do some fun things with their dungeons, and the way monsters work in this, since they're all in the overworld, they're what are called rare games, where if you meet a certain set of requirements, you can cause rare creatures to spawn. You can only fight them once. Sometimes you can fight them multiple times, but they always have unique mechanics and give you unique rewards. And there's a whole side quest for finding and killing all these things and getting their trophies. There's one in here that you can use for a fairly simple but also fairly specific leveling trick, where basically it's this enemy that keeps raising zombies, and as long as you set up your gambits correctly, you can keep your party alive permanently by using an ability called Charge to refill your MP. You'll have them not attack the main enemy, just attack the zombies.
Oh, okay.
And so basically what you do is, once you get it set up so that your party isn't going to die, and your lead party member isn't going to die, because if they die, the game will pause, and then it'll wait for you to select a new party lead. Once you get everything set up correctly, you can just set the controller down, walk away, and your party will kill these zombies ad infinitum. And so you can leave that running overnight, or with the 4x speed, you can leave it running for just a few hours, and when you come back, they'll have gained dozens of levels and thousands of license points. I didn't do it in this one because, unfortunately, you need to have specific abilities on specific characters in order to do it, and the way I assign my jobs to my characters, I simply didn't do it in such a way that any one character had the abilities that I needed one to have. There's a secondary version which is a little more hairy, simply because it's possible to make it so that the monsters stop spawning just by raw accident, but it still works fairly well. But this is the best one to do that in. This isn't that thing. This is just a weird boss.
Yeah, it is a weird boss.
Look at that strut.
Oh. What's that little magnet symbol thing under the map? What's that all about?
Magnet symbol.
Under the map.
Gosh. I think this boss specifically has some sort of mechanic that interacts with metallic equipment. And I think I just ignore it. I think I'm strong enough to just fucking ignore it. Oh, and this is how summons work in this one. The character that summons it remains, but then the summon replaces your other two party members.
Sweet.
Yeah. And in this one, you're able to give them direct commands. Originally, you could not. Originally, they would just do whatever they wanted, and then if certain requirements were met, once their summon timer ran out, they would use their ultimate ability. In this one, you can summon them and just immediately use their ultimate ability and dismiss them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I bet it's just better to do that and then get your party members back. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot.
Oh, this is how that T-1000 felt. Oh, no. Also, Gollum.
Congratulations.
No, this isn't the NES era.
Congratulations is such a weird thing to say in a Final Fantasy game after killing a boss. Like, it's like, thanks, I guess? Like, okay, yeah, I mean, I was gonna do it. I had to.
Congratulations is... It lacks a certain amount of fanfare. In the way it just pops up, congratulations, and then it's gone. Like, it never... It lacks the oomph that something like, defeating a boss and say Bloodborne has, where it's like prey slaughtered, and then it fades away real quick. It's like, congratulations!
Yeah, it's like they didn't know what to put there, but...
You gotta put something.
I just wish it just brought you back to this kind of, like, I don't know, they did their victory poses here, and then, I don't know, then it did the fanfare that everyone wants to hear after you fight. Some, you know,
yeah.
Like, and, like, it's just weird. I don't know. Congratulations.
It's like that one aspect of the game they forgot to work on, and then they're about to ship, and they're like, "Oh fuck, they're printing discs. They're printing discs tomorrow, and we've got nothing."
Like, imagine if you beat this game and it just said congratulations, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? That's it? Like, this is a joke? Is it an ironic congratulations? Like, you did it. Are you proud?
Yeah. So the puzzle you're trying to solve in this particular dungeon is that there are there are 3 of them. You can see on the east wing, the west wing, and the south wing, there are like red circles with arrows in them. Those represent statues, and the arrows represent where the statues are facing. What you want to do is make those statues face toward the center. It's remarkably simple, to the point where it's barely a puzzle. But once you do that, the path toward the last room in this dungeon opens up.
At least it is simple, and it's not like you're just running around dying, like going, what do I do?
I'm having that problem in Kingdom Hearts right now. Not the dying part, just the running around going, what do I do part. To where Kingdom Hearts 1, I think they got better about this in 2, I can't remember, but in Kingdom Hearts 1 at least, a lot of verticality in a lot of levels, and a lot of verticality. They do a poor job telegraphing where you're supposed to go. And I don't mean like hand-holding. I mean like even telling you like what's my objective. To where there's a story cut scene, and then it ends, but you have no idea of what you're actually supposed to be doing. So you just kind of run around like an asshole until a cutscene triggers, and the levels aren't laid out well enough, and the camera is often far too close for you to actually know where you're at in relation to anything. So there was a time where all I had to do was go through one door. I didn't realize that door was there for me to go through, nor did I realize there was a door I hadn't yet gone through, because of just the way the levels are laid out and the camera works. Like, it just didn't register to me as anything.
Man, when I was trying to play the Kingdom Hearts 3D on 3DS, like, I gave up so hard because there's a mechanic where you're basically like grinding on rails like a sweet skateboarder, and you fucking fall off a platform and you're like, I'm not climbing my way back up there.
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit. I give up. And I don't know where I'm going. I can't control the camera because I don't have the cool 3DS with the at that point I didn't have the new one with the little C stick, so it's like, I don't know where I'm going. I can't see. This is stupid.
I'm not gonna buy that C stick enhancement for the 3DS.
Yeah.
This is the next of our summons. This
That's the Shiva stand-in.
Yeah, I think this is Mattias the Corrupt. They all have names like that. Blank the Blank. It's like Belias the Gygus. Got buff up real quick because Mattias. This one comes into the fight with a bunch of small elementals at its back, which you think would be weak to fire, but they're weak to bolt.
Weird.
I don't know. It's like, hey guys, you know how ice is always weak to fire? Yeah? What if it's just not this time? Okay.
Yeah, that is strange. Like, it's hard to picture, like, even in your head, like, what would a lightning bolt do to a chunk of ice? Like, I don't know, hit it, maybe. It wouldn't really be conducted to it, like...
When I was playing through 12 on the PS2 edition that I have last year, almost 2 years ago now, I got to this boss and it just kicked my ass, and so I was real worried about it coming into this, but my characters are far, far over-leveled, so really provided no challenge at all. I just smacked it around for a bit.
I do appreciate the boss health meter.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great, and it's necessary for stuff like this because, you know, if you can do a huge chunk of damage to a boss at the right time, you can basically skip their whole enrage phase. It's like if you do all that damage up front, you'll have dealt, you know, the same amount of damage, but you'll still have to go through the enrage phase. Whereas if you can do 30% of their health, say, but then they enrage at 25%. It's like, well, do that at 30%, you'll kill them, and they just won't get to do it.
And it's like every boss battle in every previous Final Fantasy has always been like, okay, I don't know how much HP they have, and so I don't know how long this is going to take, and I don't know if my resources are going to outlast theirs, and that's been the whole tension.
That is, that at least provides tension to where it's like, maybe I can just like punch through the enemy and defeat them real quick, but maybe I should take my time to heal right now. And it always kind of sucks when you do err on the side of healing, and maybe even blow like an expensive healing item just to be sure, and then one more hit and the boss dies, and like, well, that sucked.
It's like you should, I don't know, it makes it just,
it's
just a little nicer to the player.
It's a lot nicer to the player in this one in particular, because some bosses have especially the super bosses, have so much health that if you didn't have that meter, it's already a grind, but without that meter, it would be an insufferable... Well, it's just an insufferable grind. Like, the final super boss in this game is called Yizmat, and it has something like 20 million hit points. And it does the thing that I've complained about, where bosses just, when they enrage, they increase their defense to the point where you're doing like half or a quarter of the damage that you were. So, what's already a long-ass fight becomes even longer once it enrages, and even with the 4 times speed, fighting Yizmat takes like an hour and a half of just hitting it over and over. This is one of those finishing moves you can get if you get enough chained abilities together.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to feel like you're getting something done when you're fighting a boss and not just sitting there.
Yeah, that was and again, I was having that problem in Kingdom Hearts at first, because I remember there being health bars, but I wasn't seeing them on bosses. I'm like, this is weird. So I'm fighting Cerberus, and it's just taking forever, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. And then as soon as I defeat Cerberus, I've leveled up, and it's like, oh, Sora learned Scan. I'm like, oh, there we go.
Thanks, Sora. Maybe a few minutes ago that would have been nice.
Yeah. Although, fuck, that has its own limitations, because there are only so many... The way they do it in Kingdom Hearts, it's like a lot of games where bosses can have multiple health meters, just depending on how much health they have. It'll overlap, but it'll have different colors. So it's like green, yellow, orange, blue, red, pink, where pink is like as high as it ever goes. But a couple of super bosses, in particular Sephiroth, have so much health that they have more health than there are meters. And so I remember the first time I fought Sephiroth back in the day, I'm smacking him around and his health bar isn't going down. I'm like, what? Am I not hurting? Like, he just has so much health that like you have to wail on for a bit before his meter even starts to drop. And then once it drops, it's dropping at the same rate, but it's like he basically has... It's basically like he has meters on top of that are the same color, so even though they're maybe dropping, you just don't see it.
I like that they made Sephiroth a badass.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't pick someone else.
Uh-huh.
They're like, we know that the players are going to want this guy to be a badass. That when they see it, like, you need to feel like this is dangerous.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, yeah, Sephiroth, pretty badass.
Huge badass. And then, once you defeat Sephiroth once, at least in the original Kingdom Hearts, like, he gives you so much experience that you gain so many levels that you're then able to defeat him much more easily. But he's still giving you so many experience points every time you fight him that you're just getting a shitload of levels. So if you can beat him once, you can beat him again. Yeah, just this heavy-ass sword. So if you beat him once, you can beat him again, and then every time after that, he just becomes exponentially easier. But you're still getting the same rewards.
What?
He just may be onto something. The Dawn Shard's no use to us, after all.
So this sword is special because it can destroy Nethicite, which was created by gods.
It's like, no, don't use that sword on me.
Bleeds mist.
Don't do it.
It's just been roused. It fears the sword.
But it's also turned on by the sword.
It's got that fear boner.
Yeah.
Do it for the fear boner.
Hey Ash, do you think maybe the stone is like using the vision of your lost love to manipulate you? Nah.
There's just like M&Ms inside.
Hooray! Good. No more ghost husband for you.
The stone is quiet.
This is the sword, the Nethicite destroyer.
Should it find its mark?
Come on. Tell me, did you see him again?
I didn't. Not a thing. Not even my brother. Not.
She's like, alright, stop talking.
Yeah, I get it. I probably didn't need to ask you that question. I probably could have just had a quiet moment of self-reflection. And you know what? That probably would have been more powerful, but for some reason I had to ask you just to justify your presence on the party. Fuck. At least Pinello has a katana. What are you doing? You made me a time mage and a red mage. Yeah, because I hate both those jobs.
I like both yours, little snappy,
Yeah.
If you fucking hit it next time.
If you do your jab. Oh, god damn it.
Again.
This fucking Empire.
You guys are so easy. We just
Yeah.
follow you, and then, God, you make it so easy. There's something weird about the scale of this, right? And how once a airship gets so goddamn big, it's almost not that scary anymore.
Oh, yeah. Well, it ceases to be a threat unto
Yeah.
it. So, like those little like individual ships.
yeah, that's
those vertical
scary.
one- because those can attack you,
It's like
right?
come in and like
Yeah.
shoot some lasers at you. But
Like
thing-
this ship doesn't even seem to be capable of like firing in its own defense. It seems to just be a carrier.
and it couldn't even like wouldn't even have to worry about it landing or getting nearby. It
Yeah.
seems like.
There. Smoke. What could it mean?
I don't know, but we're gonna have to walk like 100 miles to find out.
Could you imagine that? Like,
Yeah, like
just
looking at the smoke on the horizon over the mountains, being like, "Well, time to walk back."
every once in a while, when I'm using Google Maps, it'll accidentally give me directions by walking, and it's like that'll take 10 hours. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, I love when I go into Google Maps and I assume it's gonna do what it used to do, where if you punch in something like say GameStop, it'll just give you the closest one to your geographical region. But it loses its mind and it shows you a GameStop in like Chicago or San Francisco, and it's like, okay, here's the GameStop in San Francisco. That'll take 27 days to walk.
And like, if it's funny because you look at that and you're like, yeah, I could do that if I had
Yeah.
to, but like, fuck. I mean, it would take more than 27 days. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have to take breaks and
Uh-huh.
stuff, and but shit, like, gee, oh god, like just picturing walking that distance, like, oh man, don't want to do that.
Fucking Google Maps.
Yeah, one time it was giving me walking directions and I was driving, and the path that it was having me take would just seem so ridiculous. And then it's like, would you like to switch to driving directions? It
Yeah.
seems like you're moving awful fast. It's like, when have I asked for walking directions? Why did you switch to walking directions? Like, fuck. Going like 35 miles an hour, like, this is a fast walker. You're ahead of schedule.
Are you the Flash?
Like that one NPC that was walking all wounded.
Everyone's all sad. I like that it's raining now because everyone's sad.
Oh.
We got our asses kicked. Those who went to stop them, comma, slain, comma, everyone. I understand what you're saying, but that was a weird way to say it.
I just wanted to make sure that you didn't mistake the fact that everyone who was sent slaying all the judges.
Yeah.
They were like, how do we word this? A lot of commas. Just throw commas on commas. Man, when I have to write up like legal declaration shit, man, they use commas. They use commas everywhere.
Oh, I bet. I bet because they need to make sure that you cannot misconstrue what's being said in any way, and so it's like, well,
sometimes there's even double semicolons. And I'm like, is this real? And I thought maybe it was a typo, and I looked it up. I'm like, nope, there's supposed to be 2 semicolons there. Like, that's weird. Naming all these parties that are the plaintiffs, and since the first couple parties were marital communities with, like, you know, Mr. and Mrs., or like Mr. and then Jane Doe surname, and then it got to an individual who wasn't part of a marital community, who was not married, and so before it got to that one, there were 2 semicolons. I'm like, this is weird.
Huh.
You will surrender it to me. Too late, and to their sorrow do those who misplace their trust in gods learn their fate.
Fuck you, Darth Vader.
There it is again.
That's a wicked-ass
your-
sword.
Yeah. Fuck you, Darth Vader, with your stand.
Fran, I don't like the look of that.
This mist. He holds a stone. It controls him as it did Mjern.
No, no.
I love that Mirren's name is spelled M-J-R-N.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
A weapon forged by
Just
his
fucking
wisdom.
consonants.
The gods
I love names like that. It's just like, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, it makes sense.
Dynast King. Wraithwall did but pretend the title, a cur begging Nethicite scraps from his master's table.
God, I love this dialogue so much.
Release
Hark.
True Dynast King.
Just hark.
Solidor. He
You
shall
asshole.
defy the will of the
Using
gods.
hark.
Yeah. Only villains use
In
hark.
the hands of man. His time is nigh. The new evil race
Also the phrase, the reins of history back in the hands of man. I'm imagining the less than stellar translations we've seen in the past, and how that could have been butchered.
Okay, when did, Demon's Souls come out?
Oh, Demons was 09.
Because, I mean, I almost feel like they must have lifted some inspiration off of this.
Very possibly.
Because some of this stuff...
Well, I
looks-
think they're drawing from similar wells for their visual inspiration. Like the judges are kind of oh, my phone's ringing over there. The judges are kind of well, they seem to be based kind of on fantastical versions of like traditional knights. And then Demon's Souls is largely based on Western iconography for well, most of their stuff, really. Like, it's all based on, like, it's very English sort of fantasy, right? Like, England fantasy. So you do have knights and the heavy armor and broadswords and long swords and daggers and crossbows and bows and all of that. They may have looked at this to some extent, and maybe... I wouldn't be surprised if there were images of this on their tone board.
Yeah.
Simply because, yeah, the more ornate stuff in Demon's Souls does look like that armor, to where it's like, this is just pure ornamentation on it.
Yeah.
This is just here to give this armor a cool
Like, this isn't
silhouette.
This isn't helping its function. It's
No.
probably hurting it.
Yeah. Because you can't reach those grapes very easily. They're too far back.
I'm not.
Yeah. Everyone's taking a grape
He said
break.
his very bones about with manufactured
Because the battle is
insight.
over.
The Grand
Everybody
Guild-
hydrate.
Wait, what about Larsa?
Gone, spirited away by Chuchka Brandt.
You okay?
I don't think he really needs his sunglass maiden to help him there. I think he just wants her to hold him up.
As for our young lordling, he went along to avoid trouble, you see.
Sadly,
but
it's the only way I can get my arm around a lady.
He flew into
I'm
rage
actually a
and I was
huge
left to fend
coward.
for myself. Please, princess, you must permit me to take you back with me to Rosaria.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Something I appreciate is that their clothes are actually clothes.
But I hardly
Like, they're actually worn on the character model. And you can see certain bits like the belt move around when they actually, like, get down. So it's not just painted on their body and then it clips through.
preemptive strike, but you will convince them otherwise.
Except her cloak is freaking out right now. Yeah.
This
Her phone's going off. She's ignoring it because it's an important
My
moment.
errand here is not yet done.
I'll call Jenny back later. Fuck.
I must wield the Sword of Kings, and with it bring an end to the Dusk Shard.
This stone, do you even know what it is?
I can venture a guess. The Draclaw Laboratory in Arcades. The Empire's weapons research begins and ends there. How soon do we leave?
At once.
No, we're gonna take like a
As
day
for
off.
those in
Yeah.
Rosaria,
At once, but first let's go stop by the hunt board in the tavern. I hear there's some big monsters we need to punch.
Fend for his own. let us hope that you are not
Like this
disappointed.
playthrough is very quick because it's just the story bits. But if you do all the side content, this game is very, very long. And I haven't even done it all. Like, I don't want to fuck around with the super bosses because they cross into a realm of super boss. I'm like, I don't need to do that.
What's the point?
Like I said, Yizmat, even with the 4 times speed, is an hours-long fight of just smacking it around. It's like it ceases to be a challenge and it starts to be just a test of stamina.
And not your character's stamina.
No,
just
your stamina
as a
yeah.
player. How much time do you have on your hands?
Like, I'm looking at Kingdom Hearts, and it's like, I kind of want to get the Ultima Weapon and fight Sephiroth and all that, but I also kind of just want to play through Kingdom Hearts 2.
kind of want to live my life.
Yeah, I don't want to spend all that time it takes to farm those materials to get to the Ultima Weapon, so I'll probably just beat Kingdom Hearts and pop over to the 2. Because fuck, I never did experience the in-game content of Kingdom Hearts 2. I just played through the narrative because of the situation I was in. And then got done and went, yay. Now back to being depressed. Because I'm 6 months into my stint in the military and I don't know anything and I'm 19 and everything's weird and scary and I'm alone.
Man, especially for you. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Imperial patrols there should be sparse.
We have to walk this whole way.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
Across continents?
Yeah.